How do y'all want to relax lives? I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. I just noticed this weird thing. You see my bike, right? See how it's looking at me? It's looking at me. Why does it do that? Why is it turning to look at me? It's like, come on, man. You're supposed to be playing the game. Come on, man. Alright. I actually need some fuel, so I'm gonna come over here and see about snagging some petrol. Gas cans. Seems like I'm always out of fuel on this thing. I was trying to head back home since everything is full up. Oh, good. 10%. Speaking of that, am I headed home? Yeah, if I just stay on this road. If I stay on this road, I can get home. Yeah, I was trying to think. Man, I haven't really been doing anything the last couple of days except work. We didn't have our Wednesday night D&D, so that's a shame. Although, I have been putting some time into possibly creating my own class. I played a lot of EverQuest 1 and 2. Like, years worth of time. And basically when I was first in college, my days consisted of, I said I'd stay on this road, but now I need to know. Sleeping, class, EverQuest. And it probably went in the order of class, EverQuest, sleep. Those are back in the days where I could get by on 3 hours of sleep. Uh, oh man, when I was in high school, I don't get it. When I was in high school, I could get by on like 2, 3 hours of sleep. I'd be fine. I tell you, if I don't get about 7 now, I wake up with severe headache and cannot function the rest of the day, pretty much. Which I normally get about 6.5, so I usually wake up with a minor headache to start my day off with. Once I get moving, it goes away, so... yeah. Yeah, still watching that El Barco. It's pretty good. It's got a bit of a, I don't know, usually you call them like a love triangle, but this has got more of a love kerfluffle. It's a pack of wolves there. I don't know what a kerfluffle is, but we'll just say it's a love kerfluffle. Oh no. Dude, this is a bad spot to run out of fuel. There's a pack of wolves right there. Please don't eat me, Mr. Wolf. But yeah, it's a sci-fi show from Spain. I'm fairly positive it's from Spain. And oh, he didn't step over there as fast as I was expecting him to. I think there's a car right there, so I want to go to hack on it for some. Dude, I'm over here. Wake up. There we go. Oh, that's not good. That is, though. I went to see if it had English as a language available, and it said Spanish European. So I'm assuming, as it is Spanish European, that by that they mean Spanish Spain in Europe. And but I've been enjoying it. It's black hole sucked up all the land. I don't remember what episode of what I talked about it in, so I'm give a little premise here. And so all that's left so far, although they just recently discovered that there's a possibility that there is still land. And not a lot of land, a little land. And they gave how much land, but it's in a system I have no clue. Honestly, if it's not in square miles, I have no idea. And I think they gave it in hectares. I remember dealing with hectares in school. But that word just means measurement of land, and beyond that, I have no idea. Square miles, I understand. I'm kind of actually fuzzy on acres, to be honest, and that's how we measure land here, in acres. Like I know the house I'm sitting in is on a section of land that measures out to 4.5 acres. What that means, I have no idea. Somewhere... Oh, we gotta cross a little bit farther yet here. And then I'm gonna have to go fuel hunting, it looks like. Probably should check that passing gas right there. Actually, let's just check this passing gas right now. See if I've never found the convert from barrel to I doubt you're dead. Oh, you are dead. Wow. Anyways, so yeah, they think they found 3,000 hectares of land, I think is what they said. I have no idea. I have no idea. Oh, sweet. Free gas. Not a lot. Not as much as I need to get this thing. Oh. It was more than I've gotten so far today. And anyway, so the boat, there's a scientist on the boat who was part of the project that created the black hole, or whatever happened. They haven't actually shown anything yet, other than miles and miles of water and no other people. And so they yeah, they've got a bit of a love kerfluffle going on. There's like there's a dude, the first mate, named, I want to say Julian, and his estranged son has snuck on board. And so honestly, here's the issue. I got so much junk. Let's start here. Okay, now let's pull this apart. And so his estranged son snuck on board, and so they've got that storyline going on. Although that seems pretty okay at the moment. But the estranged son is important to this story. The kerfluffle, if you will. And you're going to have to, because that's what I'm going to keep calling it. And so he is in love with the captain's daughter, whose name is something I've never heard before. Honora, I think, is what it is, but it's spelled with like an H and an I is in there. Honora, something like that. And so there we go. Medical parts. Food. $18 billion tons of metal. And, but she is currently in love with the evil guy. I don't know what he is, but they started off showing him have a dead body in the trunk of his car. And he has 3 passports, and he has gotten on the boat to hide from the authorities while they try to cover up what he's done. And, so not a nice guy. And, so, then the scientist is... I don't know what his name is either. I don't know any of their names. I'm terrible with names. You're lucky I got 2. Honora and Julian. And then the... there's a... the scientist is in love with the estranged son, and the captain is in love with the scientist, and I think that's all the various parts with that kerfluffle that's happened. And then there's it's one of those training cruises. I thought I saw... oh, it's in here. And so it's got a bunch of students on board, and so there's a kerfluffle or 2 going on amongst the students as well. Which, you know, I like for my stories to have that kind of stuff, because it adds interesting things, I guess. Group dynamics, which is usually my favorite part of a show, is how if they just get along, they'd be okay, but they can't get along, so they all are gonna die. Can I make 7.62 rounds? I can. I need bullet tips, gunpowder, and bullet casings. I do not have bullet tips. I also can't find my bullets. I have a little bit of gunpowder. I have a lot of casings. How are you doing for lead? I have very little lead. Wow. I need lead. It might be time to see about doing a little mining. Ooh, let me deal with being hungry and thirsty first. Uh, but they just had a pretty um, so like they have the huge thing that happens that wipes out all the land on the earth, and so now everything's covered in ocean. And so they went swimming, and the water temperature has risen, and so they because the water temperature has risen, creatures from deep below the ocean are coming up. It's kind of like there was this old sci-fi show I really enjoyed called Surface, and it's kind of like what would have happened if that show had continued on, which was a shame it didn't because I really enjoyed it. But I gotta be careful here. I don't want to go too far down here and not be able to get back up. You know, I was trying to make a flat spot here, but you don't want to have a flat spot for my ladder. Why? Why is that? Now I've got to dig out more. I was trying to make a nice little... Why you gotta be all mean, ground? And so they went swimming, anyways, and one of the girls got bit on the leg by something. Okay, I can't make this flat. I'm just gonna have to dig me an angled tunnel out of here at this point, and then I'll have to come back later and box it in. Oh yeah, I could just box it in. Duh. And so they killed the thing that bit her, and it was this weird fish, and they decided it was a baby. And so in the last episode I just watched, the mother could sense that her baby was on board, even though it was dead in the freezer. You know, it's... Well, I might be enjoying the show. It's not the smartest thing I've ever ever watched. They treat it really seriously. It just, their science fiction reasoning is weak in some spots. Like, a black hole wiped out all the land on the planet, but somehow left the rest of the planet. Oh shoot, I don't want to make a... Nobody wants to make a metal ladder. I'm trying to get the box behind it. That's weird. Alright. But, so they were gonna make a cage, and one of the guys on board had been given an antique whale spear, and so they were gonna try to use this whale spear to spear this thing, and the captain's daughter, who is currently seeing the evil guy, is also in love with the estranged son of the first mate, and actually prefers him but refuses to admit it. as far as I can tell. And so they spend. She's supposed to move in with the evil guy. It's the big thing currently on the show is everybody's moving in with each other. And so she's supposed to move into his cabin, the evil guy's cabin. And so he's definitely the evil guy because he's also killed one of the other characters on the show so far. It's kind of like a little bit soap opera-y, only it's serious, like not like overly dramatic. All that could just be because it's in a foreign language and I can't tell that it's overly dramatic, but it doesn't seem overly dramatic to me. But so instead of doing that, she was trying to find reasons not to go, and then her stubbornness makes her probably move in anyways, because I guess she did at the end of the episode, but so they build this cage to protect him when he goes down to fight this thing, the estranged son, because he has diving experience. Like, he snuck on board the ship, but he actually has a background in working on a ship like this and diving and things like that. So apparently iron. But iron's handy, so I'm going to go ahead and mine this out a little bit. And so just as they're getting ready to go and lower him in the cage, she drops the cage in the ocean so he can't get hurt. And I was surprised. And then she went with the evil guy anyways. Like, she's all mad because the estranged son believes that she chose the bad guy over him, and so he went with the scientist. Man, sounds like I'm regurgitating a soap opera to me right now. It's alright though, I like soap operas. I was watching, what was I watching? Man, I can't remember what I was watching. I was watching something on Netflix though. I was like, man, what do I know that woman from? I'm like, I know who this woman is. Who is this woman? And I look her up on IMDb, and I'm like, nope, I haven't seen any of this stuff. And I'm scrolling back and scrolling back and scrolling back. And there is nothing that I'm finding that I know her from. She's been an actress since like 1980 something, and I'm like going back through 30 years worth of stuff, and I'm like, man, I know her from something. And then yeah, she was on Days of Our Lives. That's what I know her from back in the day when I used to watch Days of Our Lives. That was a big thing. My grandmother watched Days of Our Lives when I was a kid, and so in the afternoons, we only had one TV, and so in the afternoons she would watch her soap operas. And if we were going to watch TV, had to watch the soap operas. So, yeah, I was a huge Days of Our Lives fan all the way up into high school, probably. I think fan's a little strong, but I like a good long story, and soap operas have just, 70-year stories at this point. But man, I was hoping to find some lead a little easier than this. Do you not find lead anymore? Yeah, I don't know what I just watched with her on it. It's weird. I saw the trailer for the new Will Smith movie. That looks like it might be fun. He's got a new movie coming out on Netflix called Bright, where he's he lives in a world that's got like elves and trolls and fairies and pixies and stuff. Only it's modern day, and he's a police officer. and they are integrating the police force. So it must be a recent occurrence. It kind of, it kind of reminds me of Alien Nation, but with magic. I honestly, when I first clicked on the trailer, thought Will Smith was remaking Alien Nation, which is an old sci-fi show about this spaceship that came to Earth, and everyone on board was a refugee, and so it's about pair of detectives, one who's an alien and one who's human, and it's a serious show. It's not a comedy. Um, and so I thought it was Alien Nation because the guy he's with kind of reminds me a little bit of the whole Alien Nation thing. They weren't they weren't as blue as this guy is, but they did look a little different from humans. But yeah, it looked really good. Looked really good. Come on, I just want a little bit of lead. Where's the lead? I think I found one chunk of iron, and that's all I found down here so far. I should look on my skills here. I think oh yeah, look at that. Let's go up at 50. Oh, 80. 80. Whew. Yeah, no, that's gonna help me though. Quality Joe. Didn't I look at that the other day and I thought it was 50 and not 40? It's 40. Totally by Quality Joe. Man, weird. Oh, this will help a lot. See that? It's only basically 2 hits to knock one of these open now. Oh, you know what else is going on? I am running out of stamina. Well, I think this is probably a good place to call it for tonight. I got some other stuff I gotta get done, and I guess I want to mention on that El Barco, they just discovered on the flight recorders that they recovered that they saw a plane crash, and they dove down and got the flight recorder. No bodies for some reason, but they found the plane and got the I think that's just one of those things where they didn't think about it, but they did finally from the flight recorder discover that there might be land, only they don't know quite where it's at, and the area it's in could take them up to 10 years to search with their sailboat. I also think it's weird that they haven't started planting their crops yet. I would think that would be one of the first things I'd be doing, is getting supplies together to have crops, but whatever, TV show. Alright, with that, click like if you like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one, and I will talk to you later.